Hi, Heaven. You always seem to be the first one in here. Anyway. Hi, Fernie. So saying about this mobility stuff, but that might be another thing that disadvantage of taller people, because I've come to realize that being tall has a lot of disadvantages. A lot of people that, I wish I was tall, but it's like, do you though? Being tall has its problems as well. I mean, it's not all good. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes I wish I was some short guy who could, do handstand push-ups and, that kind of shit. But it is what it is. But but there is certain benefits as well, but it's just, we can't be really 5'2", or really, that's quite short then. Yeah, imagine if you were stood next to me, you'd probably be below my shoulders or something. Huh. Yeah, that would be quite a height difference, but yeah. Anyway. But you just have to kind of just accept things the way that they are, really. It is what it is, We have to just kind of, there's no point in, you know what I mean? There's no point in dwelling on things like, I wish I was this way or that way. It's like when people have a certain look, I wish I didn't have a birthmark, for example, or whatever they might have, or I wish I didn't have this scar. But the more that we focus on these things, then the more we're going to feel like sort of inferiority complex or whatever. And hello, Eorplick, whatever it is. Earthly, oh yeah. I'm a man, not a woman. Okay, why are you saying that? Did your head ever started shaking a bit when you lean slightly forward? What you mean? What are you talking about? I don't know what you mean. What you mean, Johnny? What are you saying? Yeah, I'm satisfied everything is proportionate to my body. Well, that's good then. As long as you're happy with it, then yeah. I'm doing fine, thank you. How are you doing? Welcome in here. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button. A head tremor? Oh, I don't think so. Yeah. Alright, so I don't know what to really kind of talk about right now, but I'm kind of just, talking shit, really. Hello, Kyle, how are you doing? Hope all is well. Let's get this shared out if you can. Talk about your future. You mean future? Hello, Kundis. I'm alright, thank you. How are you doing? Hello, Spider-Man. Meow. Okay. Hi, Lolita. How you doing? Hope you're well today. Hit like, subscribe. Thank you. Yeah. I might do some outdoor live if there's any good weather coming up, but I want to go back to have a look at the St. Ives estate. So I kind of didn't really see it very much when I was there before, and I kind of got a bit lost. So yeah, I need to make sure I know exactly which way I'm going and not end up getting myself kind of lost, because I didn't really know the area that well. So anyway, but yeah, that's what I want to try and do, because I didn't really see the place properly when I went before, and yeah, oh well, it is what it is. So that's the plan. Yeah, UK, yeah. So, lad, man. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out, like, what way I went into it, really. Did I go this way? Something. Let's have a look at the street view. Row after row, what you mean? Yeah, I think I went in that way into it, but I probably should have not gone in that way. Yeah. I don't know what is going on in here. What does that mean, Kunja? Don't know what you mean. I'm just trying to figure out, like, how would I get into it, like the right entrance into the place. Hi. Okay, here we go again. We've been getting a lot of trolls in here lately, haven't we? Oh, Skipper, what's going on here? Oh goodness. I'm just live stream surfing. What's it about? We just talk about different topics, like we're talking about fitness and health and different things like that. So if people are like want to know anything about health and fitness, and we can talk about that, and we can try and help people out and stuff. Or if people just like to talk about it and maybe share some tips with each other and things like that, then we can do that. It's all about, yeah, sort of just sharing wisdom and knowledge with each other. That's what it's all about. Fitness binge at the moment. Have you ever done? No, I've not done cold plunge. I've done cold showers before, but I've not done cold plunge though. No, yeah. How many meals per day? I mean, I just usually have a few different snacks, and then and then I have like a bigger meal, and then it's like then more snacks. I usually just have snacks and things. Try and just kind of graze throughout the day, really. I think is a good idea, really, for me personally anyway. What's the topic? I mean, I don't really have much of a topic right now. I'm just kind of just talking general stuff at the moment. But I was just saying that we can sometimes talk about fitness and things. It's like people I feel like I was, pressured to kind of, have a topic or some, I don't know. It just gets kind of draining to me, really, but. Okay. Life on a boat. I was actually looking into that a while ago, but I've heard it's not really any cheaper than living another way, because you have to pay for the moorings and stuff, and it can be a bit of an issue. Can you just fuck off? If you're just going to come in here and give fucking unsolicited advice, then you can just do one. They're not being helpful or anything, they're just trying to fucking nitpick and just get the fuck out of here. If you've got nothing good to say, then keep it to yourself. You know what I mean? I don't even know why I'm even on here. It's just always people just either being kind of needy or just really like attention hungry, and like I said, we all need attention, I get that, but it's just the way people go about things, the way they try and kind of do shit for reaction or whatever, and it's just not good, is it? Like, these people really got nothing better to do with their lives. That's what I want to know. Is that the best thing that you can do with your life? I think that's pretty sad if that's really the best thing that you can be doing. You know? So just get rid of these people, you know? 30 years old. God's sake. Yeah, well, it's just annoying. Like, why can't they just go and just, you know, get on with their day and just leave me alone? Like, I want to have a good time here and not just some kind of, what do you mean I'm a late bloomer? What's that supposed to mean? What are you trying to say? Is that supposed to be some kind of insult or something, or what? I don't get what you're on about, but if you're going to come in here and fucking insult, then just fuck off. I've not got any time for that shit. No, I'm not Aussie, I'm English. I might just get off here in a minute, guys, because I really can't be asked. Can't be asked with these fucking stupid comments and shit. I've got probably better shit to be doing than to be dealing with a bunch of annoying accounts and shit. I just ain't got time for it. I don't sound Aussie. God's sake. Same fucking shit every day. No, it's not hurting me, it's just annoying. People keep saying the same shit, like, it's just draining. Hello, John. How you doing? But I've got to not let these people just kind of put me off, you know, it's just, that's what they want to do probably, innit? They'd probably love to see me just, like, give up. Can't give them the satisfaction, can I, you know? But yeah, there is that, I suppose. Hacking is horrible, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, they want to see me mad. I've just got to not give in to it, you know? Yeah, I think I'm going to go to, like, hopefully there's going to be some good weather and I might go back to try and actually see St. Ives Estate properly, because it's a really nice place around there. But it would only be nice if the weather's good, that's the problem. They've got this, like, pond there and it's quite a nice sort of scenery. There's massive park around there and, yeah. It'd be good to go around there and have a day out there. It's near Bingley. It's not too far from Bradford, but yeah, but it's in a quiet area, so there's just like a big kind of park around there, like woodland and it's got like a big pond and stuff. But yeah, hello Steve. It's just when I tried going before, I kind of got lost and ended up going around in a circle. So. Yeah. Well, that's the thing, isn't it? A lot of them project, is what it is. A lot of people project in their own insecurities and stuff. Like I said, clearly they've got some issues going on themselves, haven't they? But I suppose it's an opportunity to grow. Like if you're letting these things get to you, then that's a sign of insecurity there, and it could be like a opportunity to like self-reflect. Like if people are, if it's bothering me, say like if they start talking about acne scars or something, then maybe that's a sign of insecurity going on that's exposed, because maybe I didn't realize that sometimes you don't realize how insecure you are about things until something triggers you. So a lot of it's about shadow work and healing these kind of things, and yeah. Hi Danny, how you doing? I hope you're well. Hello Craig, how you doing? So we have to just kind of take it as an opportunity to grow. Yeah, there's a lot of people like that, and they're just jealous if they're talking about my jumper or whatever, and they're talking about, I don't know, it's one of those things that, they'll say, oh, I'm boring or whatever, but if I'm that boring, why do they keep coming back and saying it? Like, what do they get out of that? Okay, thank you, Satish. Like, they have to try and find some way to put you down. It's like they're trying to do that because then they're hoping that I get offended and whatever, because then that kind of validates them. Because if they can get me to feel bad about a certain insecurity or something, then that's going to make them feel better. But if I show that I don't care, then that means that whatever thing that they can nitpick at me doesn't mean anything, basically, is what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't mean anything if they, What do you mean Autobots, what you're saying? What are you talking about? Alright, just getting rid of this nonsense. Yeah. Rage baiting, that's all it is. But why though? Why do it though? Some people are insecure and they have their own problems. Like, could that be what they're trying to do it for? Or maybe they're miserable. Whatever it is, there's some issues that they have inside that they need to address. And this ain't the place to address it, is it? But still though, it's not really something, if you're bored, find something else to do. It's a sign that something ain't right if I don't care how old they are, it's like, you should be out with your friends or you should be doing something more productive. Or maybe their parents are just not doing a good enough job of actually, I don't know, but it is really, but it is what it is. You could say a lot of it is down to like, parenting now has gotten a bit, it's just hard sometimes because, like I said, I have my own insecurities at times, and then they pick on something and then it makes me more aware of it. But I'm trying my best, but it's just hard when they're constantly bombarding you with things that make you feel uncomfortable. Like, it might be about my acne scars, or it might be about something else. like they would say something about me having a lazy eye or something. I don't really, but then they might start to make me think I kind of do or something, and I'm like, do I have a lazy eye? What are you talking about? I've heard about Sigmund Freud or something, but what are you trying to talk about? Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, but I don't know. It's just that it's hard to trust people on here. Well, actually, and I don't always have the right people in here that would be able to do it reliably. Yeah, trust no one. You can only trust in yourself. That's the only person you should trust in. Yeah, and even trusting in yourself can be difficult at times. Because sometimes you let sometimes you're like, I let myself down. You know. Sometimes you just let yourself down because you think, why did I have to react to that? Why did I have to react to all the comments and stuff that I should have just ignored it? But then you shouldn't kick yourself over that because we're only human. And then when you start to like kick yourself over your mistakes and stuff, then that starts to possess you in a way. So you've also not got to like, you just have to accept that you're not perfect as well, because that's, you know what I mean? Because the more that you try to resist, then the more that it kind of has a hold over you. So someone was saying the other day that resistance calls persistence, or something like that. EA Sports, it's in the game. Oh yeah, Red Bull gives you wings. Oh yeah, I remember that. Anyway, I hope you're all having a good day. Yeah. Welcome in, everybody. Bond, James Bond. Oh yeah, James Bond. It's not natural to not get angry. Yeah, it's just trying to fight against your instincts, isn't it? It's like we're trying to fight against our human instincts. That's the difficult part. Hello, Gerard. Or Gerhard, I mean. Okay, whatever. What fangirls are you on about? I mean, I've got Fernie, Woney, but I've got a few, like, females that watch me. But, which one? Sorry, which one did I miss? A couple of girls who have their face as profiles more likely to be able to trust than complete anons. Yeah, but then sometimes people could pretend to be some female as well, where that could be like some catfish or something, you know? That's the thing. You don't know if someone's catfishing. It's just kind of draining, isn't it, when, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, oh well, what time we're on? 15:40. Alright. Yeah, 15:40. 15:40. Yeah, looks like the weather's going to be a bit iffy for the next few days. Hello, Shanjola. Thank you, Craig. Okay. $15.40 p.m. in the Big Brother house. And the housemates have arrived. Dear 48. No, I've not. Yeah, it does sometimes, but you have to that's why it's frustrating, because it's hard to really concentrate on any sort of discussion, and then you get these idiots come in and completely change the subject, and just throws me off. I'm from the UK, Francis. Where are you from? Hello, Nord Celts. I don't know. I mean, some of these things are just like random comments, and I can just kind of, you know what I mean? But some people start spamming the chat, and then, but yeah, I do need to probably have a couple of mods at some point. Oh, Pookie. Yeah, I'm from the UK. Yeah. Yeah. Welcome in, everybody. Share this out if you can, everybody. What's that? What you're saying, I mean, that's just, it is what it is, you know. It's like going on about British Empire, but like, that's all in the past now, isn't it, really? You know what I mean? It's all in the past. Yeah. Hello, Oliver. How you doing? What to get over what? Oh yeah, the whole kind of, yeah, when they keep going on about the whole, you know, like British Empire and all that. It's like, but I'm not responsible for any of what my ancestors did or anything. Hello, Fastbook72. How you doing? Hope you're well. Nice to meet you all. How many people had empires around the world? Boo-hoo. Yeah, I know, exactly. It's like the whole slavery thing and the whole American African slave trade and all that, and it's like, well, there's been slave trades all over the fucking world throughout history, but for some reason that gets all the attention. Even the word slave comes from the word Slav, which means a Slavic person. So it's kind of ironic that the word, yeah, the word Slav is in the word slave. Yeah, because these were people that were enslaved apparently by people from Iberia and North Africa. Yeah, exactly. It's all done in a sort of way that takes out context and leaves you with a narrative to think that black people only black people are victims and only white people are the oppressors. That's kind of like what it kind of gets into people's minds. But in reality, we don't see that. In reality, we see people from any race can be oppressors. People from any race can be oppressed. It's just like the whole men versus women narrative. It's pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. So yeah. Anyway. Why God let bad things happen? Good question. So we were talking about that the other day. Some people say it's because bad things have to happen in order for there to be good. The whole duality. But then I would say, well, if there is an all-living God that's all-powerful, why does there need to be this limited reality where bad has to exist for there to be good? Like, for example, we experience good because we have good hormones, like, say, endorphins, serotonin, things like that. Hello, tired Dolly, how you doing? And dopamine. You know, we have all these feel-good hormones when we feel pleasure and happiness and things like that, right? So why couldn't God just let us have that all the time and not experience pain and suffering? Why does all that have to happen? What? We're not five, what are you talking about? A chicken and the egg. I mean, I would say the egg if we believe evolution. We can't appreciate the one without the other. But if we're talking about like a God, in terms of like God creating everything, then is he not beyond all that? Oh, thank you for the super sticker, Vanessa. Nice one. Thank you very much. How you doing, Vanessa? Hope you're well. So they say, oh, we can't have one without the other, but this is not God's world anymore. But why doesn't God intervene and stop it then? I don't understand what you mean, but yeah, like, why does he not now, though? Why has all this been allowed to happen? Why is there even suffering in the first place? Why does God need there to be bad in order to, like, have good? Like, why can't we just have experience of, you know, like, joy and all that without having to suffer so much? Personally, it's a test. But then, a test for what exactly? I mean, this is where I kind of like struggle to really comprehend like people's kind of mindset around this whole thing about it's a test so that you can go to heaven or something, and like where then you experience eternal bliss, but you have to go through suffering first. You have to go through hell on earth to then experience eternal bliss. I don't know, something doesn't sit right with me about that whole thing. But okay, thank you, Zoya. Okay, Richard, thank you. Amberlin says it's not a test, religion is a guide for life, and you fit your lifestyle around it to see what fits. Life isn't that serious, you'll chill and enjoy the ride. Okay, fair enough. Heaven or whatever, who knows? But this world is a stepping stone, and yes, we get pushed to make sure how pure we are, no matter how truly we walk in God's image. I know what you mean now. She's right there, everything should be done with love. Yeah, no. But I have my own thoughts on religion, and my own take is that what if we are all God? And what if, who knows, what if there's only one soul in the universe, kind of like some spiritual people talk about spiritual non-duality. So what if we actually create our own suffering, sort of thing, is kind of what I'm thinking. Maybe it's more in terms of we go through certain lives and we experience all these different versions of life, and some believe that the source, or God, whatever you want to call it, is actually just the higher self, as in the you that you think is you is actually an interconnected consciousness in the universe or something. It's hard to explain, but yeah. So maybe in that sense that good and bad has to happen, because whatever we can conceive of happens, basically. So a lot of it might come down to, like, if we can conceive of evil, then evil exists. If we have evil thoughts and evil, feelings and whatever, I don't know, contingency argument, what are you talking about? What do you mean, contingency argument? I think we all have to forget about actual Bibles, and yes, we are all connected. They talk about quantum physics and all that, and quantum entanglement. Okay, what's the riddle, Skippy? Let's have it. Yeah. Hello from North. Are you from North as well, Vivian Kelman? Yeah. What's this? Do you think LGBTQ flags should exist? Because I don't think they should. It should only be for countries. I mean, I don't really care about that kind of stuff, to be honest with you. I think that people can do whatever they want as long as they're not harming anybody. That's kind of how I see it. It's like I'm the kind of person that's like, a live and let live type of person, where it's like, just don't step on anybody else's toes, and that's it. As long as you don't step on my toes, I'm fine. As long as you're not or as long as you're not trying to push things on children that they're not able to do at that age, for example, or as long as you're not, kind of influencing bad and, affecting impressionable people and things like that. That's basically what I would say. Now, you could say that this LGBTQ stuff, you could argue that it's being pushed a lot with a lot of like social media and a lot of you get all these TikTokers and whatever, and promoting of all this nonsense about I identify as a tree or whatever, and really confusing children. So you could say that it is a bit too much kind of pushed in people's faces. So you could argue that the flags might be, I don't know, like some way of advertising for it to children in a way you could argue, but I don't know. I don't know if it's really that much of a problem, but no, not from Blythe. I live in York. I'm originally from Blackburn. Live and let live, but what do you do when someone is standing on your toes? Do you intervene? Well, it's all about what they call reasonable force, or it's whatever they call it. Teaching it to young kids is not good. That's where I would draw the line with that kind of stuff. Tired Dolly, I live in York. I'm originally from. Hello, hey Marie, how you doing? So, worst date you've ever been on, and how did you handle it? I've not really been on a lot of dates, to be honest. But I did kind of go on a date with, it was just kind of awkward, really. But I've not really been on a lot of that stuff. Yeah. I don't oftentimes meet a lot of new people, so I just kind of, yeah. So anyway, oh, hang on. Oh, Fernie Warney's just sent a Maria membership. Do you know each other? Thank you. Oh, that's nice. Yes, I am active. My question would be, when somebody stands on your toes, you'd possibly say something, but if they're standing on other people's toes, do you look away and ignore it? Well, this is the thing where, yeah, that I would not want to feel like I'm doing nothing about it. It's like, if you see somebody trying to hurt somebody, you should go and be like, what the fuck are you doing? And if they don't do anything, then you've got to then start to intervene and really kind of, like I said, reasonable force is the thing, right? You don't want to end up causing any harm to that person necessarily if you can help it. Like, we shouldn't be trying to be offensive and all that, but sometimes you have to intervene and just push them away or whatever you have to do to get the person a chance to be able to get away from that person. It's like when you look into, say, self-defense and things like that or whatever, and it's about trying to just de-escalate a lot of it by trying to be cause the least amount of destruction, really. You don't want to be causing bloodshed and whatever and broken bones and whatever, if you can help it. I mean, unless you're just some kind of ruthless person who just doesn't give a fuck. Now, you could say, well, they deserve it, but it's like, this whole idea of an eye for an eye and all that, and just being a better person, just trying to do the least you have to do to try and de-escalate a problem if somebody's stepping on someone else's toes. Or if you say, for example, if you see someone's, pickpocket, let's say, what happens then? Then you might have to intervene in some way, and I don't know. It's just I don't think we should be fighting each other, is what I'm saying. But sometimes things have to happen, but it should be just about trying to get the person kind of, basically weakened somewhat so that you can, you know what I mean? Anyway, I'm kind of not really making a lot of sense here, but anyway, what's this? Am I from Australia? No, I'm from England. Sometimes you talk and miss comments, and you are arguing with trolls. So good. Yeah. Sorry. What do you mean? I mean, did somebody? I was actually just responding to some comment about. I was just thinking, girls with their face pics on profiles could just be people trying to gain your trust, like catfish. So yeah, you are correct. Yeah, I said that earlier. Yeah, that's what I said, that it's hard to know who to trust unless they're for example, Marie's got 210,000 subs. It's a channel with a tick, so very unlikely that that's a catfish, right? So somebody like that would probably be quite trustworthy. Hello, Kurdish Keith. But yeah, it's okay. Yeah, it's just Michael Jackson has a song called Man in the Mirror. I think the message is important. We can only make the world a better place when we change the only person we can control ourselves. Oh, that's the thing, isn't it? What they say is be the change you want to see in the world. Oliver Chapman, I'm sorry to hear about that, but not everybody is a cheat, though. You got to remember that. There's always good people out there, even if it doesn't seem like that, but there's always hope. Just but ultimately you just have to try and be there for yourself. Zombie Killer Gauge, hello. Oh, you've got a membership or something as well. I think we have more in common than you might think, brother. Oh, really? Oh, yeah, cool. That's good then. Yeah, it's just, that's the thing, when you start talking about certain things and your philosophies on life, then people can be like, oh, actually, we have a lot more in common than we realized. It can just kind of like, but oh, I didn't know that we agreed on it. And it can feel good, when somebody, you feel validated in that kind of belief that you feel like no one else really truly hears you. It's like, and then somebody actually is like, yeah, I totally get what you're saying. Like, oh, really, Oliver? Anyway, so, hello, Moto. Remember that advert, guys? Was it Motorola, wasn't it? Oh, thank you. Keshav is my name. How are you today? It's Keshav is my name. Yeah. Anyway. Iron Man Potential, how you doing? You alright? Good to see you. Hope your day's going well. What percentage are we on now? 40%, 39%, so... Where am I from? UK? Where are you from? I live UK, countryside. Oh, nice. Been okay, and how about you? Yeah, not too bad, thank you. Do I play a console? I used to. I haven't done for a while, though. So what is it that you agreed with, then? That I was saying about, like, the whole idea of, like, to change the world, you have to change yourself, and yeah. So the thing is, right, I was talking about wanting to start a political movement, but then I'm thinking, I've got to set an example to the world. I think that's going to be the best way to go about things. And hopefully that would cause this kind of ripple effect, kind of like the 100th monkey effect, if you will. That if I have a vision for the world, then I can, sort of live in a certain way that I want to see become widespread. But have you ever heard of the 100th monkey effect before? So there's this theory that when something gets to a critical mass, a number of people doing a certain thing, it then just explodes, and then there's this uptick in how much it's getting. For example, it could be a cultural phenomenon or whatever, but there were some claims, I don't know how true it is, because some people were claiming that monkeys on other islands were affected, and hello, donut time. Sod politics is all about culture. Well, some argue that politics can... Well, you could say culture can shape politics. Can politics shape culture? Question mark. There's probably not as much. I don't know, you could argue that politics could cause a rebellious sort of culture of kind of culture form without a cult. Well, I would say you could argue that, it's called cult you are. So it's almost like it's cult you are, as in you are a cult. Now you could say, it might not necessarily have a cult leader. Does a cult have to have a leader? Let's have a look. Because people think, does a cult have to have a leader? Let's see what it says about this. Well, the traditional definition of a cult involves a central charismatic leader who demands absolute devotion and controls members. A cult does not necessarily require a single living human leader. Cults can be structured around a rigid authoritarian or shared ideology, doctrine, or a deceased figure. Yeah. I don't know, it might have been something that someone else said a while ago about cults you are. I don't know if that was something that, I don't think that was my idea, to be honest. Because I remember, like, the word doctor means to change, or to, like, people think of, like, doctoring somebody, like you go to the doctor, they're going to doctor you, or something. It's like, there's these kind of word spells and things, but yeah, it's just, hello, Jamie. Why are you a cult? I'm not a cult. But basically, according to this, it's around a rigid authoritarian or shared ideology. So you could say that this whole kind of, what culture is it like? Things such as cancel culture, for example, is a, you know, like a shared ideology or whatever that. Oh yeah, cultivate also. Yeah, cultivate. Cultivate. When you think of like a culture as in like a, sometimes I think of culture as in like monoculture, or also cultures is in terms of like bacterial cultures. Like it basically just, it all comes down to a conformity, isn't it? Something that conforms to a certain, like, consistency. I think the word consistency is probably a good way to describe it. Hello, Martin. People have a certain consistency of ideologies, and like it could be, you could say like the woke mob is, you could argue that that's like a culture. Also, you've got the, like, what you might call like the dissident right as well, with this kind of also on the opposite side of identity politics, with the nationalism and national pride and all that. And if you disagree with one thing that they say, then suddenly you're now a woke leftist. Or if you disagree with one of the things that the woke mob say, then you're a far-right bigot. So I'd argue that they are cults. So you might say that they're kind of like cultures, but they're like cults. It's like, where do you draw the line with it? Is it a cult or is it a culture? Jumping from word to word. What do you mean? Really interested in language. I like to find the original words, their roots and meanings. Language is fascinating. Yeah, it's called etymology. That's the study of words, like the origins of a word's meaning. It's like the word pharmacy comes from the Greek word pharmakia. Do you know what that means, guys? Pharmakia. It's a Greek word which means, I believe it means sorcery or enchantment, or like witchcraft, that kind of thing. So we think of the words like alchemy, alchemy. You get it? So this is why I'm a bit kind of like, the whole thing of like big pharma, it's all like a, to me a lot of it's just these Frankenstein potions and like that are there to buffer certain symptoms but not tackle the root cause in a lot of cases. Also, being impartial is not enough. You're either with them. Yeah, they say like, if you sit on the fence too long, then you end up with a sore ass. Yeah. Yeah, that's the... Yeah. But that's the... Who are you talking about, them? Are you on about the whole kind of... partisan politics and like you're either like a conservative or liberal or whatever. It's like you can't be sort of like somewhere in the middle where you kind of you take bits from both maybe, and you can have a more nuanced perspective of things. It's like we can't have nuance anymore, it seems. Everyone's either on one side or the other and not somewhere in the middle. Yeah, words are magic. Yeah, that's what it is. It's like but there was a thing called, have you heard of quantum grammar? Well, there was like some presentation done on it a while ago. I can't remember, David Wynn, whatever it was called, that you have to look into that, but type in quantum grammar. It's a type of grammar that it cannot be misconstrued. Because the thing with the English language, and a lot of languages probably, but English is particularly bad with this, where like words and like terms and different things and sentences and whatever can be taken out of context quite easily. It can be misconstrued to mean something completely different. And so yeah. That's what the Bible says. The word is the most powerful thing, and once I realized that, I stopped saying negative things about myself or anyone else. Yeah, because words, I would say that words don't have an intrinsic meaning, but rather we give them meaning by, words have certain connotations, they evoke certain emotions, like when we think of the word like, words like anger or hate, there's certain feelings associated with like, there's certain words that, we can sort of like associate certain feelings. But yeah, it's so when you're saying that I'm not good enough or whatever, or then your subconscious brain takes that in as like, oh well, I'm just going to give up, because why would I bother? If I'm not good enough, then there's no point even trying. Our body doesn't know we are joking when we say something like, I'm an idiot. The body responds and believes it, then it becomes it. Yeah, subconscious is powerful. It's something like 95% of your brain, whatever it is, that's subconscious. So we are programming our brain with scripts, kind of like how we program a computer with scripts. If you've ever done any programming and like put certain commands into it to do certain things, to like, to rewrite programs or whatever, and it's like, that's what we're doing with our subconscious mind. That's the thing with like manifestation and stuff. If you've ever looked at like Neville Goddard or anyone like that talks about law of assumption. Well, there's law of attraction as well, but law of assumption goes deeper, because it's about, instead of seeing something as something you have to attract, the law of assumption takes it further in saying that the reality that you want already exists in a parallel universe or something, that you just have to tune into that frequency. So it's all about putting you in the end state, feeling that you already have that thing, instead of feeling like something is not in your reality, which might actually cause you to feel a sense of detachment from the thing that you want, rather than feeling like, let's say if you want love in your life, then you have to assume that you are loved. Instead of thinking to attract something, you have to feel that within yourself. So yeah, I've had enough coincidences to know there's truth to all that stuff. Yeah, it's interesting because as soon as you shift your mindset around things, then suddenly things seem to fall into place more. You suddenly seem to kind of, you start to kind of get ideas that you just kind of, you're just like, oh, where did that idea come from? Because suddenly you stopped putting the, kind of doubts in your mind, the subconscious doubts, the self-limiting beliefs. Suddenly now, things open up. Things, doors open. So, yeah, a lot of our suffering, I believe, comes from either attachment to, I'd say a lot of it actually comes from attachment to ideas that don't serve us or people that don't serve us. And, it could be like an idea like, I'm this or that, and I'm not, because I just don't accept that to be the reality. So, if someone says, oh, I'm too tall to do gymnastics, for example, well, okay, well, that's what you want to think, but let me see how far I can go with, moving my body weight and kind of thing. It's like, I don't want to just anymore be a victim of circumstance. I'm not going to be like, oh, that's going to limit me. I'm going to be like, okay, yeah, it might be a bit harder, but we're just going to try harder, and we're going to be determined, and yeah, that's it. Got to get off the phone and just have a great day. But it's that guilty of not actually implementing it, though. Well, that's the problem, isn't it? Not implementing the practices. But you have to switch your mindset to that of, instead of being a victim of your circumstances, it's to something of, I'm going to do it anyway. Like, I'm on the autism spectrum. Things can be a bit hard in some ways. Socializing has been hard for me, but I refuse to let it hold me back. I refuse to let any kind of label stop me. If anything, I want to kind of prove everybody wrong. I want to be able to prove people wrong, that just because I have a certain label doesn't mean that it's going to limit me. Now, yeah, for some people it's going to be very difficult, and I get that. But a lot of the things that people think are all in their own head. They're like, oh, I'm awkward, I'm this and that. But if you keep telling yourself that, then you are awkward then. But if you say, no, I'm not awkward, I can hold my own in any situation. If you can, keep reaffirming that to yourself, then that's going to go into your subconscious mind, and you're going to be a lot more confident. Talk about, subconsciously reprogramming. Yeah, that's good then. You're sore, but if you're too sore, maybe don't do too much. You could do some active recovery, so maybe do a few just to get blood flowing, but I wouldn't overdo it. If you're already sore, then yes, doing some active recovery can help to get rid of some of that lactic acid and help with DOMS, and yeah. I would also recommend meditation is a good one for recovery as well, and just, activating the parasympathetic nervous system. But yeah, just don't do too much, I would say, really. I used to be awkward when I was younger. Made for some funny situations, though. Once you stop looking around at others and become self-sufficient, it vanishes, in my experience. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. This is the thing, it's like, we have to stop looking to depend on others for your, you have to find love within first, is ultimately what you got to do. What you experience within yourself, the love that you feel for yourself, then you can only assume that it's going to be reflected back to you. Whatever you're feeling within is going to be reflected. So if you feel love, if you feel hate, then you're going to see more of that. Your brain is programmed to see whatever it experiences within. So if you're a bitter person, you're going to experience more bitter people, and you know what I mean? Hello, Jolene, 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 Jolene. Welcome in. How are you doing today? Thank you for the like. Yeah. So this is it. Hello, psychosocial. I did my time. You know that song, innit? Slipknot, psychosocial. And the rain will kill us all. yeah. Is that what it's referring to? That song, psychosocial. Yeah. That song was actually kind of big back in the day, like with because it kind of like introduced a lot of like the more kind of, if you will, normie kind of people who were more into like pop and stuff like that, more to like more extreme kind of music, I guess. So I guess that band was good because they kind of bridged the gap between kind of the normies and the more kind of extreme music, which then opened people up a lot more to other bands like, you know, the more extreme type of stuff. That old storm. It's a fact, man. I've espoused bad views of people only for them to confirm it sooner. I listen to a lot of different music. I'm quite open. Yeah. I was listening to some Death Grips the other day, which is kind of like a alternative hip-hop duo. Well, it does this like kind of rapping, but it's kind of got a bit of like a kind of a punk rock energy to it with some like kind of industrial type of beats and kind of other influences. It's quite different, shall we say. Like that style is, I've never heard someone do it the way that they do it. It's a bit of an acquired taste, but I didn't really get it at first, but once I started listening to them, I kind of started to be like, oh yeah, this is actually kind of dope. Yeah. I'm getting too old for beings, but I must. Okay. This is not good, is it? Yeah, I listen to a lot of different stuff. I mean, I can, quite open, but yeah. Some things can take a bit of a, musical chameleon, kind of weird direction sometimes with my musical taste, but sometimes I also listen to some more kind of bit more conventional kind of stuff. Sometimes I like things like, Prodigy or whatever, I mean, I try to keep an open mind. I quite like Pendulum and Anyway. Okay, can we just not do that in here? Okay. Anyway, so this is the thing, is that when you start vibing at a high level, then all the negative people are probably just going to, because that amount of positivity, it's going to overpower any kind of negativity. They're just not really usually going to even bother. They see that you're so negative, if they see that you're so positive, that no amount of negativity is going to put you down, then all the negativity is just going to be just irrelevant anyway, but they're just not going to probably even bother. If they see that you're vibing at a high level, they're going to give up probably after a while. That's how it works. Whereas if they see that you've got some negative traits, they'll try to kind of exploit that for their own gain. I feel like to the world, what do you mean, Keith? What do you do for work? See, I'm mainly on here these days, but I need to get back into the busking stuff soon, but anyway, I'm going to be getting off pretty soon, but
I've got shit to do, but anyway. Hope you're all having a good day so far. Yeah, sure, yeah. But yeah, check out my videos and stuff when you get a chance. I feel I had messaged the world it will be peace, love, being happy, being open-minded, being follow your heart, unique, and just being kind, play electric guitar and directing horror movies. Yeah. Please speak with whole words. Yeah, I don't know what this Keith person is saying necessarily. It's kind of not really making a whole lot of sense. Wait, so chemistry says cat sled, what do you mean? I'm lost here. Some of these comments aren't making sense to me. It's frying my brain. I don't care about money. I don't care about all that. I want to be in my life is just successful, and I just want to play electric guitar and direct horror movies. Yeah, if that's something that you enjoy doing, then if you don't need that much money to do that, then who's to say you need to be rich? Because to me, rich isn't just about how much money you have. It's about your quality of life. Do you feel happy? Like for some people, they might need a lot of money. Well, not a lot of money, but like they might need a fair amount of money if they want to, have their own like recording studio, for example, and they might want to, like buy a bunch of equipment so that they can record their own music. Like they might want some different equipment, like a synthesizer or maybe a bit like an expensive computer with a lot of like software, and they might use things like effects pedals and all sorts of different things that might end up costing money or cost a lot of money. But in some cases, like for example, if you need a guitar, sometimes you can find stuff like, say, for example, on Marketplace or some other second-hand place where you can just get it for like next to nothing. It's just we don't always have to buy things brand new. So that's the thing, is that we have this mindset that like, oh well, we need tons of money for everything. But sometimes you can, if you're lucky, you can either share with somebody else, or you can, you know what I mean? We don't always have to like pull out a lot of money up front for something. Even if we need quite a bit of equipment for something, that I believe that where there's a will, there's a way. You'll find a way to make it work for you. So if you had one message to the world, what would it be? I mean, I guess like, I'd say just something like, treat every day as though it's your last. You know what I mean? But then again, if you used to say that, then you wouldn't bother trying to work towards anything. I think maybe a better thing to say would be just like, I don't know, it's hard to say really, because that whole thing of treat every day as though it's your last might not really be the best one. Hello, welcome back. Favorite conspiracy? Good question. I think like 9/11, I think there's something off with all that. I mean, there's the whole Simpsons prediction stuff. I mean, that's a whole rabbit hole as well, isn't it? The whole Simpsons predictions and things. Hello, Sherber, how you doing? Hope you're well. So yeah. Oh, it's a Paul Gibson one. Oh yeah. Oh really? 1955. Is that when it's from? Blimey. Or is it just a model? We'll have to get going in a minute, but... Oh, you got your own YouTube channel. Oh, cool. So what message would I give to the world? Health is wealth, I think it would be one. Because people talk about, wealth being about how much money they've got. But what does having billions matter if you're feeling like shit? Like, if you're crippled, if you're in bad health, mentally, physically, whatever, if you're stressed out, if you're whatever, you know, it's like, what does having billions matter at that point? Like, there's billionaires that are depressed, you know? So, we have to really think about, what is it that we really want out of life? Do we really want to chase endlessly after money? Or is it about chasing after some deeper meaning that like maybe it's about being of service to others or something? But yeah, I'm gonna let you all get going, I think. But take care, everybody. Oh yeah, that's good then, Keith. But hopefully I'll see you again next time. I'll be back later, so take care, everybody. See you later.